Alright lads, so tomorrow morning we should be getting our end of month banner announcement, and for today's video, we're here to discuss what the characters might offer when they get revealed in less than 24, 12-ish hours. I'm not sure when I'm uploading this. However, we can finally talk about what the banner is going to be because we have leaks. I know what the banner is, I know what it's been, and usually when it comes to leak banners like this, I won't talk about it unless it's more public, like for example, it's been revealed on Reddit. And in this case, shout out to Aspirated X's, it has been revealed on Reddit, so let's talk about it. What is End of Month going to be? Well, it's going to be the 3 characters on your screen in just a few seconds. I'm going to switch my team, and it will be the 3 following characters. Just to tease it a tad bit, it's 2 new characters. One is a remake. One, in a way, is an original character to Brave Souls, kind of. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And the other one is a very long-awaited character. So here we go. This is what the upcoming end of month should be. Hopefully I'm not wrong. It seems like it's correct. We're getting, finally, Sun Tzu Mayuri after so many months. Like, every month since January, basically, we've always been having the same names come up. Sun Tzu Mayuri and Bankai Rose. Unfortunately, for some reason, no idea when they plan to include this character, by the way. There's no Bankai Rose. But there is finally Sun Tzu Mayuri. Zombie Toshiro is getting a remake. That was expected to drop alongside Mayuri. It just makes sense. They fight each other. And then, surprisingly, the 3rd character of the banner is a zombie Rangiku. So this is what I mean, right? Mayuri is going to be a whole new character. We've not received Sun Tzu Mayuri in the game before. Toshiro is going to be the remake because we have received Zombie Toshiro. Granted, it's been like 6+ years. And then Zombie Rangiku, she's in a way an original character of the Brave Souls to a certain extent because she literally does nothing. She shows up in the 1000-year Blood War arc. We see the zombie design, but kind of in a way the pattern has been is that for you to get a character in 1000-year Blood War, you have to have one unique attack, something to base your character off of, and the second one is have a new design. And in the case of Rangiku, she's like the prime example of that, where she quite literally does nothing, and all she does show up as a zombie. And they've now turned that into a character. So I guess for those that want Zombie Rose and Zombie Kensei, we haven't even gotten Bankai Rose just yet, that potentially opens a door for that as a possibility. Especially for those that, you know, wanted Zombie Bambis. In Core 3 of 1000-year Blood, we do see Candice and Menina as zombies. They do a brief attack, but the question was, is that enough for them to get a character? And if they're turning Rangiku into a zombie as a playable unit, you can almost guarantee Zombie Menina and Candice will become playable, which personally I'm down for. They look kind of cool. So personally, I'm kind of excited for this banner. I've been wanting these characters for quite some time. I'm open for the idea of a zombie Rangiku, but the thing is, and I've been saying it for a while now, is that I'm likely going to skip the banner anyway, because of what they might potentially offer, and right now I'm just full in save modes for the upcoming anniversary, but most importantly, what's going to happen in June. June is going to have 2 very big banners. In my opinion, more exciting than this, which can you believe that? This is a pretty cool banner. And I wonder how they're going to also handle Toshiro as the character in terms of, is he going to use his Bankai? Because I'm pretty sure he does. This character also used his Bankai, but he only ever has it in the Soul Bomb. So if they want to make this character look a tad bit different, having him be in his Bankai would be kind of cool to see, in my opinion. The coloring was kind of cool, so I'd be very curious to see how this character is going to look in game with the new remake. And when it comes to the Status Element this character does offer, I'd be very curious to see how they're going to handle it. Right now, Status Element Plus is the meta, and we've yet to get a character with 2 status element plus in 1 attack, and likely Toshiro isn't going to be that, but I wouldn't mind if this character has weakening and freeze on every attack. It's something that they kind of tried to do with this character here, right? His SA2 has weakening, all the other attacks have freeze. We've never had a combination of weakening and freeze, and I would love to see that, and it would make sense in my opinion if it was correct with a character like this, such as Zombie Toshiro. But if anything, maybe it's just going to be freeze plus, maybe weakening plus. No, that wouldn't make sense. He should still inflict freeze. Maybe, to be fair, what they could do is have the exact same status element layout like this, for example, where, you know, maybe 2 attacks. 1 attack inflicts weakening plus, and the others inflict freeze plus. That way you can still combo the 2 because status element plus stack on top of each other. And as of right now, I believe we've yet to get a character like Senjumaru that can inflict multiple status elements, which is one of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to Bankai Rose. I'm not even like that much of a Rose fan, but it's the fact that he hasn't been added into the game just yet that makes me more excited for him, because they just keep pushing him back for some reason. But yeah, if Zombie Toshiro was able to have like 1 attack with weakening plus and freeze plus, that'd be really cool, because then you can combo the 2. I think his SA2 having weakening plus is probably for the best. It's the perfect way to balance it, so you can constantly fix freeze and occasionally fix weakening. When it comes to Mayuri, what are my wants with this character? Well, I'm expecting him to be the limit breaker character of the banner, and for those that are wondering, that likely means he's going to be a speed ranged holo killer. So unfortunately for those that want like a really good Mayuri, I mean, you are potentially going to get that because likely he is going to be the Limit Breaker character of the month. And for a character like Mayuri, I think he deserves it. He's not going to get a character until late this year, maybe mid next year, I'm not too sure. But we know we're going to get a core 3 Mayuri against the fight versus Pineda. But this right now gives us a good opportunity to get like a really good Mayuri. And as a range speed holo killer, as the Limit Breaker character of the month, that could be quite good. The unfortunate thing, though, for those that care about Guild Quest scores, is that he is going to be competing against 9th Anniversary Gremmy. But then again, to be fair, for him to be competing with Gremmy, what they are doing is making him have attribute advantage against the final boss, whereas Gremmy is going to have attribute disadvantage. But Gremmy is Gremmy. He's the best character in the game, one of at the very least. But I think him having a different attribute to Gremmy, having attribute advantage, whereas Gremmy has attribute disadvantage, in some cases can give him the upper advantage against a character that naturally I think is going to be a bit more powerful. With that in mind, as he is the Limit Breaker character, they could give him Guild Quest skills still. Hopefully not. If anything, because the big question now is going to be what status ailments is he going to inflict? He very well could inflict paralysis and also weakening. That would be a good combination. My guess though, and that's been the assumption since Dominate has been introduced, maybe he's going to be another Dominate character. They after all are Limit Breaker units. That's why Giselle thus far has had 2 Limit Breaker characters, because the status ailment in general just works in that game mode. It's best demonstrated in Limit Breaker. So we could potentially see our first Dominate Mayuri. And in that case, he's going to have very similar skills to Giselle, where he'll have Frenzy +2, a high Berserker value, and then likely 100% more damage to dominated enemies, and maybe any extra bonuses that he can potentially get. But again, they can go down any route. They can really give him Weakening, they can give him Dominate Plus, they can give him Paralysis Plus. I think, personally, I would prefer Weakening and also Drain as the preferred status ailments, because Paralysis on its own isn't bad, but it depends on what skills the character does have. But the main thing with Mayuri is that he's likely going to be the headliner of the banner. It makes sense. It's his big time to shine. Toshiro gets characters. He's gotten characters. Rangiku, I highly doubt she'll be the headliner. So it does make more sense that he's going to be the Limit Breaker character of the month, a speed holo killer, and potentially, unfortunately, trying to compete against Gremmy. But maybe he can do it. It is Mayuri after all. With that in mind, when it comes to the model itself, I'm very excited to see how that is going to look, because Sun Mayuri is just a really cool outfit. And if possible, I would love for them to include the rainbow effect. We know for certain it's going to be the yellow one. It's the more iconic look. But if they can somehow include the rainbow effect, that would be really cool. Like, I wouldn't mind it being a rainbow when he's on this screen, for example. Or the end pose. Just some way, somehow, it'd be really cool if they can incorporate the rainbow RGB effect. Because that's something that the Christmas version of Nemu actually has in the concept art, but I don't think in any situation do we ever see the rainbow Mayuri, unless it's right at the end when it starts to glow in her outro animation. And then last up for Rangiku, I'm just hoping she looks cool. That's really about it. I really like the fact that Rangiku got her own character based off the very brief attack that she does do in combination with Toshiro. And it is kind of funny to think that Rangiku of all characters is about to get 2,000 Jibutto characters, right? I'm here for it, to be honest, but I'm just hoping she has some cool visuals. I'm very curious in a way to see how they're going to adapt Zombie Rangiku in-game. Because like I said, even though it's a canon character, in a way it is a Brave Souls original, because we never see Rangiku do anything. So for those that want original characters, you are kind of getting it with this character to a certain extent. In terms of status ailments, again, it can go either way. She can inflict Lacerate again. She can inflict Freeze again. Probably Lacerate would be the one that she inflicts here. I think that's the way they incorporate her inflicting damage with her missed attack. Could be Weakening again, because Weakening and zombies kind of just make sense. But thus far, of the few zombies that we have gotten, they haven't been able to inflict status ailments with Saruchi. And then Bambietta, a character we spoke about yesterday, she inflicts Burn and also Lacerate. So I think with a character like Rangiku, maybe Lacerate is more in line. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the normal attack damage character of the banner, in all honesty. My assumption for these characters right now is going to be something that we've seen similar before, right? Where Mayuri is going to be the main Limit Breaker character of the banner. Toshiro is probably going to be a SP Guild Quest lead. And then maybe Rangiku is going to be a normal attack damage character. Again, once more for Guild Quests. So if we do have a look at the current Guild Quest schedule, we can maybe get an idea of what these characters are going to offer. So first up, like already mentioned, we pretty much know this, that we are going to have a speed holo killer. And they're likely going to want to be used on the 2nd of June for this particular Guild Quest phase. So again, that's likely going to be Mayuri. We could potentially see a melee no affiliation character. Now, that could be Rangiku. They might make her a melee character, to be fair. We haven't had a melee knight character in quite some time. We can double check that, though. Before we do, if we just list off the other characters, we could get a melee Quincy killer. Likely no. Actually, to be fair, even this one here, I'm pretty sure on the 5th to the 9th, we are going to get the return of June Ender Month. So that's why we see Melee Quincy Killer, because technically they want you to use Rurika. And then I'm pretty sure in this case, they want you to use Shinji, who's also returning. So likely we aren't going to see a Melee no affiliation killer. If we do, it would be a normal attack damage character. Again, that's likely going to be Rangiku. They could make it a Melee base unit. I highly doubt we're going to get anything from Melee Quincy. We do not need it. Ichigo has that covered. And we could potentially see a Melee Stamina killer. But even then, again, we kind of don't need one. Maybe a Nad character. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. We could long it out and get a ranged Captain Killer. Could potentially be. But then again, can this exist? And are they going to already replace them? They could. They very well could. But if we were to get that, my assumption would be that Toshiro is going to be the Guild Quest SP lead. So would he be a ranged character with Captain Killer? They could. I don't know. But after that, any what's after, I don't assume the character would be designed in mind. Because going from the 19th onward, that's when we're getting mid-month June territory. And if you are interested in a new potential ranged stamina killer, you might want to say some also that. Or even a Melee Squad 0 unit. So what I'm seeing here as far as the Guild Quest schedule is confirmed, it's already confirming what we know as Speed Hollow Killer. These two I think are in mind for a rerun. And then again, maybe if we do get a character designed for Guild Quest, maybe it would be a Guild Quest phase that happens later on. We recently just got Esnot last month, at this point almost 25 days ago, and you still can't use him in Guild Quest just yet, because he was designed for the ranged Captain Guild Quest. So sometimes, unfortunately, it does happen where a character is designed for Guild Quest for a phase that doesn't happen for like 2 to 3, sometimes even 6 weeks later. So possible one of them could be a farmer, maybe again that would be Rangiku. But the main thing to take away from this video, again, Aspirated Exodus, our dedicated Reddit leaker, has already said it's these 3 characters. But this seems to be our end of month banner for May. Finally, Sunsuit Mayuri, Zombie Toshiro. I'm sure some people might be upset that Toshiro's getting another character because he just got one. Yeah, he got 2 characters last year. Maybe 3. He got 2. Definitely got 2. Then he got another character at the start of the year. And now he's getting another one like 4 or 5 months later. But it is Toshiro. It's like he's a popular character for a reason. He has a lot going on. Also at the same time, a lot of stuff they can do with this unit, so it only makes sense. A character has a lot going on, that is popular, is going to get a lot of units. And I'm perfectly down for a remake of Zombie Toshiro. Especially in the case for like this, where it kind of makes sense. Zombie Toshiro versus Mayuri, they fight against each other. And yes, they could have included Bankai Rose. Maybe I would have preferred that. But at the same time, Zombie Rangiku, in a way, makes sense to go alongside these two. Finally, we're getting a 1000G Blood banner with both Toshiro and Rangiku in the same banner, not split apart this time. And I'm also very curious to see how Zombie Rangiku is going to even sound and look like. Because again, we never see that in the series. I guess there is a chance this could potentially be wrong, but likely that is going to be this upcoming end of month. And it does kind of fit in line what we have been getting thus far this year. You know, they can only delay Mayuri long enough. Right now seems to be the end of that. And every month we've been alternating from an end of month canon banner to an end of month seasonal banner. Next end of month, so going forward into June end of month, right, that is guaranteed to be swimsuits. So the back and forth between canon and seasonal has been really good for those that like canon characters and those that like seasonal characters. Gives you good time to save, at least at the bare minimum 2 months. And for the most part as well, it's also worth noting that this should be our final Season 2 1000-year Blood War banner. Because after this, if June end of month is swimsuits, it's pretty much guaranteed. Going into July, we're going to finally start Season 3 of 1000-year Blood War. Now, obviously, there are a lot of leftover characters, Bankai Rose being one of them. They will happen eventually. Some characters are just going to get delayed. Not delayed, I don't want to say that word because that has like a bad connotation to it. But some characters are just going to get put later on. Caleb need to space out the hype characters, hence why Mayuri's happening now. And also when it comes to Core 3, right? Hypothetical, this time next year or something like that, when Core 4 characters is about to release, there'll be certain moments from Season 3, Core 3, that might not be animated in-game just yet. Caleb do need to stall out until the next part, so it only makes sense. Because, I mean, at this point, we're still waiting for a Bankai Yamamoto. And we are about to start Core 3 characters in less than 2 months' time. But either way, let me know your opinion about the banner in the comments below. Again, come back to the channel tomorrow. We're going to get the full reveal of the characters themselves. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.